All right, folks. So for this video, we're going to continue looking at some introductions to Photoshop. And we are going to try to kind of create a Andy Warhol style piece of artwork. Um, so there's a file that you'll use. I'm going to go ahead and pull it up. You can find it in the description, but you'll hit open up here in the top left. And it says top dog portrait, which brings up this. And so what we're going to do is try to remove the color from the image and make all of the image or parts of it a specific color, and then make the background a separate color. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that we're going to do is go to, with your image open, we're going to go to Image, Adjustments, and choose Threshold. So Threshold allows you to basically switch everything to black and white. If we drag the threshold slider here, the little triangle slider, if I move one way, you see it gets darker. If I move the other way, it gets lighter. And you want to have the image light enough to show some detail, but you also still want to be able to see the outline of our top dog here. So I'm just going to mess with the slider till I get a nice little outline of the artwork. Depending on what image you are using, it's going to affect whether or not what threshold number you're going to do. So I'm going to get it to where I can still see it's a dog, see that it's a football player, and I'm going to hit OK. All right, now I'm going to use my magic wand, and I'm going to click in the white area anywhere on the screen. You'll see that it puts these little ants all over the place. And so then I'm going to go to Select, and I'm going to choose Similar. That way it selects anything that is that white color. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, you have two places you could pick your color. On your toolbar on the left-hand side at the bottom, you have your foreground color. I could click there if I wanted, choose a color, or I can go up here to my color tab on the far top right, and I can do either the color tab or the swatches tab. Swatches tab is going to have some folders that have different colors available to you. We are trying to choose a bright, vibrant color. So I think I am going to start with a bright yellow right now. You'll see that it changes my foreground color to that. Then I'm going to go ahead and click the little curved arrow here to flip it so that my yellow moved to the back. And now I'm going to click another vibrant color that will stand out from the yellow. So for me, I'm going to go ahead and let's do blue because they're pretty opposite of each other. Now let's click that arrow again to bring the yellow back to the front. And what I'm going to do, so in this case, the yellow is going to wind up being the person, and then the blue will be the background. And so with my selection made with my yellow at the front, I'm going to hit Alt and Delete. And it's going to replace things with yellow because that was the color I had chosen at the time as my foreground. Then I'm going to go ahead and go to Select deselect, and I'm going to go ahead and on my toolbar here, look for my eraser, which is this one right here. If you don't see it right about this area, click and hold, and it might be hidden behind one of these. Then I'm going to choose a brush size and set the hardness to a solid brush, so 100%. And I'm going to basically use this tool, the eraser, and try to start erasing around the edge of my person. Now, again, this is where you are doing this project, so the more that time you can spend zooming in with your zoom tool, then going around, whoops, sorry, not paintbrush, with your eraser, the better your artwork is going to be. So if you zoom in and actually sit there and erase all the way up along the edge, you're going to get better quality. And so what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to keep going. You take your time, but I'm just trying to get you to the next step. And so I'm going to outline my little football doggy. And because we have blue as our eraser back or as our background color, the eraser is filling in that color. I'm going to go over here now, work my way around this side of the dog. Kind of guessing where some of the helmet should be, because it may have gotten erased when we adjusted the threshold. All right. So now just kind of a shortcut. If you don't want to do this whole thing, well, we're going to go ahead and actually do it. I'll just increase my brush really large or my eraser really large. And so I'll do it that way. Another option I could do, I would have to flip this arrow around, but then I can go down to this gradient tool, click and hold, and choose the paint bucket. And I could click into these extra spaces. You'll have to click a couple times because you'll see a little silhouette there, right there, that you need to fill in. So that's one issue you deal with it. If I want, I could actually flip that back around and grab my eraser and just erase over the top of that silhouette that's around there. And I saw some over here. All right. So we got our little puppy on there. Now you'll notice over here in my layers palette, I just have this one layer. A Warhol painting usually has multiple of the same image, or one of his famous styles is to do the same image but with different color variations. So what we're going to do is I'm going to double click where it says background. When it tries to say layer 0, I'm just going to go ahead and call it, we'll call it BY, so blue and yellow. I'm going to hit OK. Then with that layer selected, I'm going to go to these lines over here. I'm going to tell it duplicate layer. We'll call it BY copy. So it made a layer on top of a layer. And we're going to go ahead and call that one. Let's say we do, I may do like, let's try pink and green. So I'm going to change that one to PG. So for pink and green. Then I'm going to go ahead and select that one. Click again, duplicate. And let's do teal and red. Let's try that. So T and R. So I've got 3 different ones. Then I'm going to go up to image, canvas size. And then I'm going to change this to percent. For the size option, I'm going to change it to percent. And we're going to change the width to be 300%. And we're going to hit OK. And if I zoom out, that's going to give me the room to have for my other images. So again, if you select your zoom tool, hold Alt, it'll let you zoom out. Now I'm going to click on the one that's named TR, make it the active one in the layers panel. I'm going to grab my move tool and I'm going to hold shift and just drag straight across and it'll snap to that corner. Then I'm going to grab the PG one, click and hold, drag, hold shift, drag to the left, and it'll snap. Now we've got 3 images. So now I should see 3 different images here. Now I'm going to select my TR layer. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my magic wand and I'm going to click the background. So just clicking on that solid color of the background. Then I'm going to go to select, similar. Shouldn't have much to select, but if I missed anywhere, it would select it. And I'm going to go ahead and this one was going to be teal and red. So let's do the background red since we already have a blue background. So I'm going to select there, the red, and I'm going to hit Alt and delete. Then I'm going to magic wand the yellow and I'm going to select similar. I'm going to select my teal color, hit Alt, delete, and now all of a sudden that one's fully done. Gonna go ahead and grab my far left one, the pink and green one. And I'm going to go ahead and with the magic wand, I'll click on the yellow, go to select, similar, and we've got a red background, so let's do a green background this time. So I'll select green, Alt, delete. Oh, that was inverted. So let me choose the pink and we'll do Alt, delete. Then I'm going to select the magic wand with select the background, select similar, then choose green, Alt, delete. All right. So now we've kind of created ourselves our pop version Warhol using our little top dog image. But we're not done. So now we're going to try to change up a couple other things. So we are going to try to change his little number here. And so what we would do is, let's say I select the 2 here. Oops, let's make sure I'm on the right one. So we'll start with the red one here. I'm going to select the 2. Now you'll see it selects a little more than I want. And if I try to shift select the 1, you'll see it selects a lot more than I want. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to select, deselect, and I'm going to click this mask button here, the quick mask. And I am going to grab my paintbrush. It's on black and white. And if I paint with the black, it's going to show what it's masking out. If I was painting with white, it would show what I'm selecting. Now, for me, let's see if we can do this trying to figure out the easiest way because we just want the ones and the two. Let's actually leave this. We're going to go ahead and leave this. Let's grab our magic wand and we'll select that number 2. Shift select this little one, which selects the other one. It also selects a lot of that. So what we're going to do is go to this select and mask button. When it does that, you'll see the parts that are being accepted if you have gone over here and chosen overlay. And then I'm going to grab my paintbrush. I'm going to increase the size. And if I do plus sign, that adds to the selection. If I hold Alt, that will take away from the selection. And so I'm going to hold Alt, and I'm going to paint over anything that I don't want to have in my selection. Doesn't have to be perfect right now, but if you were doing this for something very important, you'd spend some time doing it. Just getting close. All right. So now if I hit OK, now all of a sudden my selection, I missed a spot. Let's go back up here. Hit select and mask again. And then I'm going to hit Alt. I'm going to paint over that and make sure I get rid of it. Hit OK. All right. So now I've got those. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make this one, the numbers here have the blue background. So I'm going to select my blue, make it my foreground color, and hit Alt Delete. Then I'm going to go ahead and grab my PG one, do the same thing, magic wand, the 2, shift click the ones, go to select and mask. Then I'm going to hold Alt, start getting rid of all that other selection. You can make your paintbrush bigger if you need to do it faster, especially for these bigger segments. Hit OK. Now it's got my selection. This one's going to get the background color of this one. So we'll go red, hit Alt Delete. And now we're going to select our middle one, our first one we did. Shift click the ones and the 2. Go into select and mask. And then hold Alt, paint over. Hit OK. And this one's going to get the green background. So I'm going to grab that, hit Alt, Delete. All right. So now we've got a full little pop style artwork. Now I notice I do have some gaps here where the edges are a little blank and there's a gap here. So what I'm going to do is just grab each layer and move them closer together. Oops. Do select, deselect before you do that because I've got different stuff selected right now. I'm going to grab that. I may just nudge it over with the arrow tool actually. And this one, nudge it that way. And then finally, I don't like these cuts on the edge, so I'm going to grab, where are we at? Right here, my crop tool, the 5th one down. Grab your crop tool. It puts these little brackets. Just going to bring it in a hair on each end. Whoops, that was too much. Then just hit done. See what it looks like. Now it's a nice clean pop art. So now I can do a file, save as, call it top dog portrait.psd is fine, but I'm gonna actually call it add on pop art. That would be great to give to others. If they have Photoshop, they'd have access to all these layers, but otherwise I can do file, export, quick export as a PNG, and give myself a PNG to give to folks or to post wherever I need to. All right. So that is creating a little pop art piece using some tools in Photoshop. I hope it worked out for you, and we'll see you in the next video.